We're beginning this broadcast with some breaking developments coming in. The tussle between the Kejriwal government and the LG is only escalating because now the Delhi government has in fact instructed all its officers to stop taking direct orders from the Delhi LG. What is going to be the response of the Delhi LG? Because we are understanding all ministers have now written to their department secretaries directing strict compliance to transaction of business rules. Secretaries have also been directed to report any direct orders received from the LG to the minister in charge. My colleague Rupashri Nanda now joining us on the broadcast. Rupashri, what does the circular or the message to the ministry say?
Well, very clearly, the Arvind Kejriwal government has taken a very bold step over here and has made it official that from now on, no secretary will take direct orders from the Lieutenant Governor. And every minister in the Kejriwal government has written to the secretaries asking them to comply with this order, and they have also quoted section 49 and 50 of the transaction and business rules. What is also important to note is that the letter also says that any violation of this order will also attract illegalities as interpreted in the Constitution under section 59 of the transaction and business rules. Now remember, so far there has been a verbal sort of contest between the elected office and the Lieutenant Governor's office on whether the Lieutenant Governor has powers to issue orders directly to the secretaries or not, or to the Delhi government or not. But now the government, the Kejriwal government has made it official, the elected government has made it official and has taken this tussle one step forward.
Rupashri, I apologize for interrupting. Just stay on with us. So as Rupashri is saying, this is quite a big step that has been taken by the Kejriwal government, where they've in fact directed the officers to stop taking direct orders from the Delhi LG. Let's take a reaction from the BJP also. From the BJP, we have RP Singh now joining us on the broadcast. So good to have you on the broadcast with us. How do you see this development? The Kejriwal government there telling all its ministers and mantris that you need to stop taking orders from the Delhi LG.
Well, as per the National Territory Act, the ultimate administrator is the LG. And this has been approved by the Parliament and this has been cleared by the Supreme Court also. They can keep doing whatever they want to do, but the bureaucracy will abide by the law, not by the diktat of the anarchist. This is pure anarchism. There has to be a relationship between the LG and the Chief Minister, and Chief Minister understand that ultimately the files have to go to LG's office also for all financial approval.
But how do you see this tussle only escalating, sir? Till now, we've seen claims, counterclaims, delays, files not being approved, and now a diktat like this that no orders can be taken. How do you see this developing in the days to come?
Well, this is a diversionary tactic. He's trying to divert the people's attention from the core issues, and he knows since that in the MCD also that he is not going to get his chairman the standing committee, and then to divert people's attention from the core subject and issue of the development of Delhi, he is doing so. So that tomorrow he can say that I did my best, but I'm sorry. He will play a victim card later on by saying that I tried my best, but I failed, and it's not my responsibility.
Okay, Mr. RP Singh, we'll leave the conversation there. If our colleague Rupashri is still with us. Rupashri, I apologize for interrupting earlier. Please go ahead.
Well, what I was trying to mention over here for the sake of our viewers is that this battle is a very, very old battle between the Lieutenant Governor's office and the elected office in Delhi ever since Arvind Kejriwal took over as Chief Minister. It has gone to the courts also at various levels. The Supreme Court has also given its verdict on it, and one part of it is still pending with the Supreme Court. So now, over the past few months, we have seen how Arvind Kejriwal has repeatedly quoted from the Supreme Court order in press conferences, in his conversation with journalists, to impress upon the citizen and impress or to give the message that except for land, police and public order, it is the elected government which has jurisdiction over every other subject in Delhi. And also that if there is a difference of opinion between the Lieutenant Governor's office and the Chief Minister's office, then the Lieutenant Governor can refer the matter to the President instead of independently acting on his own. So, like I've been pointing out, it was a verbal contest that was going on. But now the Kejriwal government is essentially made it official, has put it in writing on paper, and has issued official directions to the secretary. So now it remains to be seen how the government officers in the Kejriwal government actually respond, and what is the response going to be from the Lieutenant Governor's office.
Right, that's exactly what I want to focus on, Rupashi. It's going to be interesting to see what is going to be the response and the reaction as far as the LG is concerned. But I'm going back to this news that you've broken for our viewers, in fact, where the Deputy CM is now saying that any such orders received directly from the LG are violation of the Constitution and directives of the Supreme Court. So what are these violations that the Kejriwal government feels has been taking place in the past that they now want to completely stop?
Well, the Kejriwal government, as you know, has been pointing out to many orders that have been or directions that have been issued by the Lieutenant Governor's office on matters which are not related to land, public and police, land, public order and police. And these are the matters that they have been flagging off repeatedly in their letters to the Lieutenant Governor, in their meetings with the Lieutenant Governor, in press conferences, and in their own interactions with journalists. And this is something that both the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister have put down on paper and written to the Lieutenant Governor. The Lieutenant Governor also has responded to these allegations. The Lieutenant Governor has said that he believes that he is acting as per the Constitution itself. It seems that there is a battle as far as the interpretation of the Constitution is concerned. And therefore, this matter still continues to remain unresolved. But the Kejriwal government over here, putting its foot down and saying that, giving the signal that, the time has come for officers to comply with the elected government and have some accountability over there. And in fact, to report to the ministers if they receive any direct orders from the Lieutenant Governor. Now, remember, we'll actually have to wait and see how the Lieutenant Governor's office or the Lieutenant Governor himself responds to this fresh circular that has been issued by the Kejriwal government.
Right. Rupashi, lastly, quickly, have we seen any state government in the past give a similar diktat where they say just ignore all orders as far as the LG is concerned?
Well, Ridhima, Delhi has a peculiar status. It is a union territory. It has an elected it has a legislature, and it also has a Lieutenant Governor's office. The Lieutenant Governor's office reports, the Lieutenant Governor himself reports to the Ministry of Home Affairs, and there is a division of power as far as the governance of Delhi is concerned. It has many layers. MCD is one, elected government is one, Lieutenant Governor's office is another. As I've been pointing out, ever since Kejriwal actually took over as Chief Minister of Delhi, there has been a tussle over this, and the Kejriwal government actually went to the court, losing the battle for the first time, winning it the second time, going to the Supreme Court, and it was a constitution bench of the Supreme Court which actually gave the order that except for land, police and public order, for every other issue, the Lieutenant Governor has to act on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. That is the verdict of the Supreme Court, and that is the order that I'm quoting from the Supreme Court. However, the Lieutenant Governor believes that he is acting as per the Constitution of India, and as per the transaction of business rules also, which governs the administration of Delhi. Which is why I'm saying that we just have to wait for the response from the Lieutenant Governor's office, and whether it is actually going to lead to some sort of paralysis in governance as far as the citizen is concerned.
Right. Rupashi, we'll leave the conversation there. Keep tracking all those developments for us. Will be interesting to see how the LG responds to this notice.